when he was in his 90s, close to when he passed, he had, as many do, difficulty remembering things, but he could tell you every person's name on those undefeated teams in the mid-20s that he played on at Gainesville High. He loved Gainesville High School. It was everything to him.
Graduated from Gainesville High. I played basketball and tennis at Gainesville High, and it didn't even touch what my grandfather did, and just made me so proud. Just such a deep pride that Trey and I have for what he accomplished, and just the man that he was, because you're right, I did look up to him and worked with him at Paris Dunlap Hardware. Every day we went to lunch, and he would tell me these stories about athletics or life or how he started the business, and to this day, I still think that we benefit from those. This is my picture of when I was little, and you can see I just hung on every word that he said.
Yeah, he was pretty self-made. I think his real foundation was here in Gainesville and this community, and coming up through high school. And I agree with you, he was very, very much a team-oriented person, and that carried over even when he went to the University of Georgia and played quarterback. He loves to talk about that 1929 team that he was a part of that upset mighty Yale when they dedicated Sanford Stadium, and he would talk about I remember he was telling me about the train ride they took to go play NYU, which was another big football powerhouse way back then, and that was quite something for a small kid from Gainesville, Georgia, to get on a train and go to New York and play football. And the funny thing was, he weighed 125 pounds in full uniform, which is just amazing when you think about it.
They called him the Flea.
Yeah.
Because he was so little, but he was fast, so it was the Flea. We've been always batted around the 16-letter man, and known that and knew what a phenomenal athlete he was, but until you framed it that way, that in all of Gainesville, I think it just hadn't resonated. So that's, makes me very proud.
He'd lean over to me and he'd say, if Coach Dooley was smart right here, he'd fake a handoff up the middle and do a toss sweep. And dang if that isn't what would happen.
So every time he'd come in from work at night, he'd throw his change into a big jar. And right before Christmas, he would bring, Trey and I would go over and we'd dump it in the floor, and he'd say, okay, now y'all count it, roll it. That was back before you could throw it in the Publix bin. Roll it, and we were to use it.
But it had to be divided evenly.
Evenly. But we would use
No cheating.
to buy each other's Christmas present. And, it taught us, the value of money, which as children was just so valuable, and also giving.
Well, we're obviously incredibly proud of him and what he did, and we're very humbled by it at the same time. I mean, he was a great athlete, and he just lived and breathed athletics, football primarily, but baseball and basketball too. And he was a state champion for many, many years. Held the state record for, I think, the 220 hurdles maybe. But we're very, very honored and humbled by this.